Hi, this is Karen from Mojo Global. Welcome to the Mojo Global radio show. Today, we're honored to have Michael Cooper. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm very happy you're on with us today, Michael. Can you give our audience an idea of how you're able to help them?
Absolutely. So a lot of times people ask me like what I do, and I'll ask them to think of like a Lamborghini or a Ferrari. It's a high performance vehicle. And these cars require high maintenance and strict self-discipline to operate. You don't just jump into a vehicle like that and go if you don't understand like the sensitivity of the pedals, how quickly it accelerates and decelerates, how it handles, because you can like crack up the car, hurt yourself, kill someone. There's a lot that can go wrong. And so the highest performing vehicle of all, the mind, the body, the soul, it requires high maintenance. It requires strict self-discipline to operate because we can spin out and crack up and hurt someone and kill. There's a lot that can go wrong. So I'm really focusing on like if I was the mechanic and here comes this high performance vehicle, this top performing individual, whether it's a professional athlete or a high net worth individual that's operating like a multi-million billion dollar organization, but also going into their families, et cetera. I'm looking at them and I have to like soup, 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 tune them up, tune them in to operate at a very high level of performance. But it's really all about taking the business of living wisely very seriously. And most people don't do that. They're focusing on the money, they're focusing on the work, work, money, work, money, work, money. So they're neglecting to focus on connecting spiritually and really connecting on having good, conscious, loving relationships, with the people in their lives and, taking care of their health mentally and emotionally and spiritually. So there's a whole holistic approach to helping people to truly enjoy the game of life where they have peace of mind and happiness and lasting fulfillment rather than the chaos and the suffering and the pain. So it's a lot of fun to help people, go from where they are, even though they're performing at a high level, and bridging that gap to take them to a whole nother level to pull others up even to a further level with them. So it's a little snapshot of what I do.
Well, thank you, Michael. And I'm wondering if you have many well-known clients, but I'm wondering if you could talk about an experience you've had with someone recently without giving their name or their business that would help our audience even understand better what you do.
Sure. So I had a gentleman who got referred over to me, and we just started to talk. He works for a global financial company, multi-billion dollar organization. He's a top executive leader in that organization. And, he came because even though he's performing at what he felt was somewhat a high level, I was able to create an awareness in him because, just like him, just like with most people, the struggle comes from lack of awareness and operating on low or poor quality info. So we just got to talking. This was about 9 months ago. And as we were talking and as I was helping him understand, like, what's your number one personal goal and what's your number one professional goal? What's your number one financial goal? What's your number one contribution to the world goal? And he was like, wow, these are all like really good questions, things I don't necessarily think about. And so I said, well, what's preventing you from reaching these things that you want to accomplish? So he invested in engaging in a 90-day program. And so when he did that, I noticed that as we were getting towards the end of the 90 days, I was like, he's not giving me his all. He was half in. And you can't be half in, half out. You got to be all in. There's no bare minimum syndrome here. You got to be all in to determine whether or not this is really going to awaken light within you and just be able to awaken light out with others. You got to be all in. And so at the end of the 90 days, I was actually going to push him out. And so we were talking. I said, let me ask you something. Because I always talk about how 98% of us are drifters because we don't have definiteness of purpose backed by a definite plan to produce definite results. So I said, do you think you've been drifting these last 90 days or you think you've been all in? And he's like, no, I've been drifting. I said, well, I don't have time to waste. I don't want to waste my time and my energy. There's other people who will value this type of training and development because you're having a major impact on other people, your family, your kids, people in your business, et cetera, et cetera. So he's like, no, we need to do this. So I said, well, can you come visit me for 5 days? Can you come to Florida? And he said, yeah, I can do that. So he invested, he came down, spent 5 very intensive days with me. And it was just extremely transformative. And that's a big thing is that a lot of times we can go into an experience and it's informative and people are just looking for the information, but it's about having the mindset of like, I want to transform. I want to learn. I want to grow. How can this change my life? So had a very big impact on him as far as transforming, where when he left from being with me for those 5 days, he went home and he was able to start implementing new things with his family, implementing new things with his business. And then that led into us doing some seminars and some workshops for the company, just really starting to open and reveal light, and he's just had such a transformation and a new way of thinking, because a lot of times we have communication problems, and the quality of our lives is the quality of our communication. So as a leader, we need to know how to communicate very proficiently to inspire and empower people to produce these results that we want and that they want. And so we were able to make those transformations. And it's also cool because he sends me little videos like how he's hitting these lessons with his 6-year-old, 4-year-old, 2-year-old kids. And that's what it's about. Is just having an impact, having an influence to, be a change in people's lives. So it's a really cool process to watch people shift and want to make that difference.
And in a sense, you already started answering my last question, which is, what is your why? What is your passion for doing this?
Oh, I love helping people. It's, we're all part of this human family, and we're just broken up into billions of little pieces, and we all need to really realize that we're all one. And, like our purpose here is to awaken the light within us, so that way we can awaken light with others to really light up the world. And so, when I look at an individual, it's almost like if you're looking at like you're going to a building, and the building's dark, it's black. So when you go into the building, you need to start turning on the switches to turn the lights on. And that's what I do when I'm working with individuals. I'm looking at an individual and I start to turn switches on, turn lights on within the person, because they can be focused in a lot of different areas of their life, which is really like 1% realm of pleasure. That's where most people are operating. Like, it's pleasing if this happens. It's not pleasing if that doesn't happen. It's so pleasing if I have this, and it's not pleasing if I don't have that. And then when they do have some of that pleasure, it's temporary. And so it's helping them understand, like, you can have this 99% realm of fulfillment. Like, you can have lasting fulfillment if you just know how to start turning on the lights within you, because we all have some darkness, and it's all about going back. And some people can say is like, you got layers or walls or shells, whatever it is. You start to go back and you start to make a little crack in the wall here and a crack in the wall there. Then light starts to shine through into your life today, in present moment, and then also gets revealed on other people. So it's a lot of fun to really help someone transform mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, just in every aspect of their lives. It's a great challenge, and I love it.
Thank you for being on today, Michael. What's the best way to get a hold of you? I know we have all your information on the screen behind you, but what would be the best way to reach you?
Yeah, you can visit the website, humanperformancementors.com. And then you can also email me directly at michael@humanperformancementors.com.
Thanks so much for being on today, Michael. I was personally excited to interview you. You certainly met my expectations. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. And to our audience, we always appreciate you. And we look forward to bringing you the next Mojo Global radio show. Bye bye.